Hi YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name's Elizabeth. So it is just the 28th of June, and I thought today I would come on and talk about the energy of July briefly. Not getting really into it, just touching on the energy changes. We have 5 significant shifts in the energy, 6 if you count the moon moving into Leo, 7 if you count Canada Day on July 1st. So I also did a quick read a few days back on how I felt, what I was feeling with the energy coming in. So I'll share that as well. Now, July 1st, Canada. It's really interesting this year. I actually pulled some cards just to see around the energy of July, and what I got, I just pulled 3 off camera. I felt we're tied into Canada Day for Canadians. I am from Canada. So the first thing I noticed when I looked at Canada Day, when I went through July's reading, is that the moon is entering Libra at 5:16 p.m. So, moon in Libra. This is lovely because Libra is always seeking balance and harmony. The moon entering here on Canada Day, we also have the moon opposing Saturn and Neptune in Aries, and then we also have a trine with Pluto in Aquarius. So I feel like, on a really quick, just looking in, I feel that not everybody's going to want to hear this, but this could be a time where we could really reharmonize or set the seeds, the intentions at least, for our country in your own way, personally. With the opposition, it feels like the fear of conflict coming up. Canada we've got some big, deep core wounds. We can see that playing out on our political stage. It's very clear. Libra can be shadow side of Libra, fear of conflict, superficiality. We can want to, we can be more focused on how we want to look as a country than how we actually are. So this is a time where we could really choose vision over fear. Reharmonize, and that starts with us. The cards that came out were really interesting. I received the King of Swords and the Four of Wands. Whoops, sorry. This, if you know Canada at all, this reminds me of Parliament Hill. So it's like we're celebrating the country on Canada Day. And this is our leadership, King of Swords. So he has some very clear visions on how he would like the future of Canada to look. But that sword can be sharp, and it can be double-edged. The bottom of the deck, we have the Tower, which is really interesting of what's going on. So that could be the reharmonizing, right? When we move into what we really want, think of Pluto as wind at our back. Pluto in Aquarius is changes that come through innovation and through the expression of our authentic self, but only through making the changes, and that would be us, the people. Libra's all about social justice, harmony, beauty, balance. And we are not in balance as a country. Most countries aren't. But I just found it interesting that for us on Canada Day, that there's just this energy underneath there, wanting to be heard. Like, we really need to look at it. How does this all get fixed? Well, maybe it's not about fixing. Again, the word reharmonizing is coming up. How does that happen? How do we do that? By holding your own vision. your own thoughts and feelings of how you would like the country to move forward in harmony. And by staying in the emotion of joy and of peace, that's Libra as well, and of beauty. I think that's really important. Whatever wound it is that we are carrying, it's really clear that it's getting louder and louder just by our political stage. So I'm not a political person by any means, but I know what's right, and I know what I feel is right. And so I really wanted to share that. I thought it was really important to share, to really recognize the energy that's in town as we celebrate the country. So enough said with that. So here's the energy that's going on. 6:01. Okay, I want to keep this short. I'm not going to go into all of the energies. I'm just going to state them, and then I might come back and do individual readings on them and go a little deeper. So the first thing is after Canada Day, July 4th. That is US Independence Day. So happy Independence Day to all US of A. I hope you have a wonderful day. That Neptune goes retrograde at 5:34 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Then on July 7th, we have Uranus that enters Gemini. Big changing of the guard there at 3:45 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. Moving along, we add in July 10th, full moon in Capricorn, 18 degrees 50 minutes at 4:37 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. July 13th, we have Saturn going retrograde at 12:07 a.m. These are all Eastern Standard Time. Then we move to July 18th, and we have Mercury going retrograde, 12:45 a.m. And now Mercury is going to stay retrograde till August 11th, and it's actually going to stay in its storm till August 17th, meaning the period of continued disruption will be going on till the 17th. And then on the 6th, or the last one, number 6, the Sun enters Leo on the 22nd at 9:29 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that's air into fire. So that's a real change of energy for the next few weeks. So you can see we have a lot going on. It's just a lot of movement, a lot of big energies. So the interesting thing is that it's going to be different for everybody, because based on your chart, if any of this is hitting any planets or points, you will feel it more in your life, or in the area of the life, in an area of your life where they're sitting. The full moon in Capricorn feels really expansive. It's really going to shine a light on some things. Capricorn is about, authority. So that's interesting for just a number of reasons. I think you can do your own deep dive into whatever's going on. But any kind of political structure, like Capricorn rules authority structures, governments, all that. So we could see some lights being shone there. We might see some things that maybe we hadn't seen before. That will be interesting. But I'm going to get to my read. This is what came in when I tuned in. So the first thing I felt was uncertainty. And I felt it in my solar plexus and in my sacral. And then I saw waves rolling in. Lots of water and waves. Not big or tumultuous, but just coming in and crashing and going out, coming in and crashing and going out. And then the water just went calm. As far as you could see, it was just vast. And as the sun was rising on the horizon, there was this really deep feeling of inner peace as the sun came up. There was also a great deal of sadness and loss that I felt. And I was hearing, when I felt the sadness and loss, bumpy roads for those who do not heed the call. Trust in the future. Trust in your future. Today, humanity rises. And I was feeling all of it in my throat chakra. Now, those words that I just said, like, they're symbolic in their meaning. We do have something, seems like something's going to start. I feel like that's related to Uranus and moving into Gemini. Could be something else. Only time will tell. And I finished with hearing, be the peace you wish to see in the world. So that's what I got for July. So the peace could be the retrogrades, Neptune and Saturn going retrograde. It's quite a dance of energy. We have retrogrades. We have the forward motion of Uranus changing signs. There's a real, and then, the sun moves to Leo, which is our life force energy. Just feels like there's going to be a lot going on. It's a good time to really get comfortable and know yourself, come back to center. It feels like we're going to be weaving into our tapestry, big time, whatever that means for you. So I'm hearing buckle up, buttercup, you're in for a ride. But this feels playful. This feels playful like Leo. So let's see what the month brings. And as I come with anything you have to deal with, come at it with your heart. That will help you through. Ground, drink lots of water, whatever works for you. And I will be back with another video, and we will see how this month plays out ahead. I think, by the end, it's going to be great. And again, we only ever have the now moment to be in. So when we stay focused and centered, grounded in the now moment, come back to our breath, we can get through anything. So hope that was helpful. Remember to please like, subscribe, and share. And I would love to hear any comments on what you're feeling with the month coming up. Bye for now.